This video is for commissioners who need to fix their draft if it somehow got messed up, either due to an error on the site, which definitely happens, or if users just didn't have the draft come out the way they wanted it to be, and the commissioner needs to go in and fix things up. So starting here from the home page of the Rose Reckoner, let's go to the account page. This is just a sample league that I made for this demo, but you'll go to your own league page, and you can see here that the 3 teams don't have any candidates at all. It's just an empty list, and all the teams have 0 points. So that might not actually be a problem, right, if all of your draft deadlines are in the future. But in this case, if we go down here under Commissioner Draft Controls, you see that all of these draft deadlines are in the past, right? So these teams should have candidates. Now, the easiest thing to do is here under Draft Results. You can press this Resume the Draft button, and what this will do is it'll say, just do a check immediately to see if any draft deadlines are passed, and if so, immediately reprocess them. So if I click Resume the Draft right now, it's actually going to take a while because it needs to go through all the rounds of the draft or whatever, but then the page updates, and you'll see that each of the teams has their 3 candidates. Now, that's the simplest thing to do, and for most commissioners, that should be good enough. If somehow your draft, it happened, but it got messed up, and you just want to redo the whole thing over again, you can have each team go in and set their picks according to their preferences, and then again under Commissioner Draft Controls, instead of doing Resume the Draft, you do Redo the Draft. And Redo the Draft will completely reshuffle all of everyone's picks. It'll delete everything that they got and start the draft completely over. So the difference between these two is that Resume the Draft is going to be the same every time. It doesn't change the candidates that people get. It just says check to see if anything needs to be done. Redo the Draft, on the other hand, completely starts fresh. So you see these teams are actually going to change with Redo the Draft. We get a little warning here saying, this is going to destroy everything. Just click do it. Now, again, this is going to take a minute because it's reshuffling everything, but now you'll see that the teams are completely different. This is in part because the order in which these people are drafting is now different. So you may see that as well. So that's just redoing the draft, but let's say you actually want to go in and change the individual picks. So maybe you met up in person, and your teams all decided exactly who they wanted. You don't want to go through all of the rigmarole of setting draft ranks and stuff. So if you just want to very specifically change players, you go down here under Commissioner Team Controls, and there's this kind of terrible looking thing for changing the exact composition of a team. This is not the most user friendly, but it's pretty powerful in what it can do. Here you'll see Rocky's team has Jasmine G and Kristen drafted for the first episode, and then additionally Sarah was drafted for the second episode. The intuition here is that under a heading are the players that score for that episode. So in other words, Jasmine G and Kristen get points for episode 1. Jasmine G, Kristen, and Sarah get points for episode 2. And this kind of is supposed to be the way the Rose Buddies rules work, because Sarah was drafted at the end of episode 1, so she doesn't accumulate any points for this team for episode 1. Her points begin starting episode 2. So let's say we wanted to make it so in this league, Sarah actually is going to accumulate points at episode 1. That would be as if you did the draft for everyone at the beginning of the first episode. So go under here to add a member and scroll down to Sarah, and then click this add button. So now you see that Sarah is going to be added. She hasn't been added yet. We can also cancel somebody. So we're going to cut Jasmine G out. So now Jasmine G's been removed and Sarah's been added. And now we can commit these changes. And now you can see Sarah is still on the team. Jasmine G's been cut out. And Sarah has been added for episode 1. So this is a good way to like get things exactly how you want them to be. I should probably note that if you add like 10 people to a team and expect that like because you added 10 people into this dialogue, it's all gonna like you'll have 10 candidates forever, that's not exactly gonna work. The website also checks to make sure that teams are at size 3. So at some point your teams will actually be cut back down to 3. If you do want more than 3 people on a team, unfortunately you're not going to be able to use the Rose Reckoner official rules. I'd love to add that someday, but it hasn't been done yet. So let me see. I guess this video is pretty rambly. It's my first one, and I don't actually know how to use editing software or anything, so it's one continuous take. But hopefully this answers all of your questions. Really sorry about the downtime, and play for the right reasons.